video game franchise to another. The Last of
Mhm.
Us, episode 2. Here is our discussion slash review for it. But before we get to discussion and review, let's just address well, it's not an elephant in the room, I guess, but it's a big news. Um, they are officially renewed for season 2 already after 2 episodes. The second episode received 5.7 million viewers across HBO and HBO Max, a 22% increase since last week, which is
Yep.
surprising because I usually think the first episode's bigger, but this one, the second one, is way bigger. So great for them, and yeah, automatically renewed for season 2. I would assume, I'm under the assumption that season 1 is the first video game, the whole story of the first game, and so I'm guessing season 2 is the full story of the second game, unless they're actually like stretching it out a little bit, and the season 1 is not the whole story, which I doubt. Pretty sure it's the first whole story because they didn't know that they're gonna get the season 2, so it's pretty risky if they didn't do the full story in season 1. So yeah, um, before we get to Last of Us episode 2 discussion, thoughts on this, on them being renewed for season 2?
I mean, I think based on all the episodes, we're gonna get a total of 9, I think. And based on the pace, and I'm comparing this to PewDiePie's gameplay back what he did in 2013, I think like one season would actually be one game. Like I think it would fit in.
Makes sense, yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Actually, no, I think it might be a little bit too short.
Based on even after episode 2, you think they're not gonna reach the end of the first game?
Yeah, I think they're barely gonna reach the end, well, or unless they, direct it in some way that, it will
Because
reach
here,
the end.
I don't play the game. I still don't know the game. I did this after I watched the first after I'm sober and watched the first episode again, which is awesome, by the way. I
Yeah.
looked up like the full cinematic. There's just like a full gameplay of it. I think it's like, I don't know how long was it. It was quite long, but I look it up and I watch up till the point at the end of episode 1. Spoiler alert! At up to the point where they found out Ellie was infected and Joel beat the crap out of that guy in the video game, and then I stopped watching because I want to see how it compares, which is pretty accurate. However, they did cut a lot of the stuff that happens because in the first episode, yes, we explore a lot of the stuff in the town after the time jump, after the 20-year time jump, explore a lot of stuff in the town. In the video game, that sequence takes way longer because they go around a lot. They go around the city a lot. They explore a lot more stuff, and they cut a whole lot of that. And it works in the video game, in the show, because they are able to tell the story from the multiple perspective, from Marlene, from oh god, what's the blonde lady's name?
Blonde lady.
Help me out. Anna?
Tess.
Tess. Anna is the actress. Tess,
Yeah.
Marlene, from Joel. So they're able to tell the perspective from all of those. And they couldn't tell the perspective really from Marlene, especially in the video game, because it's mainly Joel, protagonist. So the fact that they do that, and they shorten the runtime a lot for that first episode, because they did cut a lot of, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? They cut a lot of the exploration piece on that first episode. Or you guys have no idea
Mm.
what I'm talking about.
Well, I didn't play the game, so I can't really say that I know.
Didn't you watch the sequence? Not the sequence, the playthrough?
What?
No, I watched the playthrough. Which one? Which part are you talking about again?
When they're in the city the first
Oh
time
yeah.
around.
Oh
Like
yeah.
everything leading up to everything from Joel being in the city in Boston for the first time, up to the point where Joel meets Ellie. In the video game, that is so long. It looks so long, and in the show, it's rather quick.
Oh yeah. No, I think they just mainly cut that sequence out because I guess most of it in the game you're just kind of
Exploration.
walking around here then there. Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe that's what I'm saying. I think if they do that, I feel like they're probably on pace for the end of season 1.
Yeah. Come to think, I watched. I'm looking through well, literally all of PewDiePie's videos because that's how I watched the entire game. It's his gameplay. Yeah, they're definitely gonna make it. Here there's like a total of 16 parts for his like full gameplay, right?
Okay.
And episode 2 ends literally at the middle of his part 5 playthrough. So
Yeah. Okay. So if that's
so
like a good estimate, then like that feels
yeah,
fair.
yeah. So I think it's a fair amount. They might actually add more stuff in, like they did in the both episodes. Actually, in the beginning, like they weren't part of the game. They literally just
Yeah.
added those scenes in.
And that is one thing that I love as well. That they add a lot of stuff for us to connect to the daughter, because I think that's very crucial. Because they don't really in the game watching it, it didn't hit me as much as it does in the show. Because in the show, they
Oh,
really made us
when
care about the
when he
daughter.
beats up the guard, right, in the first episode,
No,
or
when
that's
I mean
something else.
everything building up to the
Oh,
spoiler,
yeah.
everything building up to the daughter dying.
All
In
right,
the
yeah.
game, it's very emotional. It's very good because the voice performance is really good in the game as well. But in the show, I think they did a better job because we got to spend time with the daughter itself.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
that's
the
true. Like we
opening of the
see it
show
from
is
her
literally just
perspective. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was from her perspective, and we get to see her and
yeah,
we care about her. And so
yeah. That
when the
makes
daughter
sense. Yeah.
died, it hits more. So I think that was like an important aspect of it they did in the show. But yeah, anyway, I think we're all excited for season two. Well, maybe I don't know because I heard the second game is not great.
Yeah, no, I heard. No, I know what happens in the second game, and I'd rather hope they diverge from that completely.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's what I'm wondering, right? They should know that like a lot of people don't like a certain bit of the second game. So like, are
Kind
they
of a
gonna
biggie.
like remove that part? Like, what are they gonna do
I
about
kind
it?
of I kind of want to talk about this. So, spoiler alert for everyone who have not played the second game. Spoiler alert right now. I let's give like a 5 minute discussion. So if you want to skip ahead, 5 minute, I guess. Be careful if the audio feed. Okay, spoiler. I knew about this accidentally. Joel died, right?
Yes.
And that's the thing that you're talking about. That people
Yes,
are
he
upset.
he he got the same treatment as he did in Game of Thrones, sort of.
I think. Wait. I
His
mean,
head got smashed.
wasn't people more
Oh
upset
shit!
about the
I
fact
didn't know
that
how he
like
died. I just know
his
that he
head,
got killed by
his head got
someone.
smashed in by a character that you play in the second game with, like, his head was smashed with a baseball club, not baseball, golf club.
Jesus.
That's what happened, and people didn't like that. People didn't like it, not just because you killed the first protagonist, but they tried to make you like care for the second protagonist, but you just cannot.
So this protagonist only appears in the second game, or are we gonna see her in this first season? First
No,
game.
no, she appears only in the second game because I do
Okay,
not recall her appearing at all in
that's
the
very
first game.
interesting. Unless they retcon in the show, but that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, all I know is people are upset about that. I know the creators mentioned like, oh, it makes sense for the conclusion because I feel like the arc of Joel's arc is done. But I mean, I don't know the story up to that point. I just know that he died, so I have like a weird knowledge gap there. But yeah, I know about that, so that's interesting. Hmm.
To be honest, I don't mind Joel dying, but it's much better if he died a more dignified death, instead of just being bounded and then beaten
Oh,
by a
that's fair.
bat.
Yeah, it's like a revenge. It's like a revenge story or something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
Huh. All right. To go anything to add to this?
yeah, no, I was just gonna say like yeah, because I heard that people aren't happy about it, not because less about the fact that Joel dies, but more about the fact that Joel died and they tried to make you relate to the protagonist who killed Joel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that part, but
yeah, and throughout she's kind of like, what is it?
annoying.
Well, kind of a bitch, really. So like, there's no redeeming qualities to her. She's just being.
Yikes.
I think at one point, like when PewDiePie was playing the second game, when he realized that he had like a few hours of gameplay left with that character, he just straight up ended the stream. He quit. He's like, I'm not
Really?
going through. Yeah, like, I'm not.
Damn.
I'm not bothered
Yeah.
with this. So he just quits.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I guess that's a. We'll see what happens for season two, if that will happen, or they'll take it a different approach. They like to change things up.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Huh. All right. So yeah,
So
anyway, let's go to episode 2 spoiler discussion. If anyone is watching, come back. The spoiler alert is done. So
the game
yeah, let's
video, yeah, the video game spoiler is done.
but yeah, now spoiler to this episode one. So yeah, let's talk about it. Thoughts on this episode. Who want to start?
Um,
Disgusting.
that was only the
Is
ending
that, is
part,
that,
Teguh.
is
You
that why
didn't
you
like it.
say you?
Yes. It was the beginning and the ending.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anything with the cordyceps coming out of the mouth is very disgusting
Oh
indeed.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
disgusting.
but the last part was even worse. Oh god.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but I should mention, yeah.
The
So in the
last
spoiler
part, as in,
discussion, when Tess died,
oh yeah,
the damn zombie kissed her. Like, ugh.
yeah. No, that is very disgusting, and that was very sad as well. I thought
that I
that was so well done.
okay. I guess we'll just discuss about the scene specifically. Like in the game, it was completely different to how she died, because like in this one, like not only that disgusting scene happened, but she went out with quite a literal bang, because she blew up like the whole
Mhm.
room.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
in the actual game, like she just kind of sat in the room and we just never see her basically. Like it just
Oh,
cuts to black and then we never see what happened to her. Oh,
well,
okay, never mind.
I feel
Yeah,
like it's better.
she wasn't chased down by zombies. She was chased down by guards, and then she basically just had a gunfight and she got killed
Oh, that's kind of
off
lame.
screen.
Not gonna
Yeah,
lie,
and she got killed off screen.
that
Yeah.
sounds lame. Because this one, not only it's sad, because first she got infected, so it's sad that she knows that, oh, I gotta. I mean, I have
I
nothing.
should. Yeah, I mean, in the game she was infected too, but the way she
Okay,
went out is just fight a gunfight basically.
right. No, but this one, first of all, she's infected.
Yeah.
She knows
Yeah.
that the third time is up. She got attacked by zombies. That thing is disgusting. She sacrificed herself to let them go, and at the same time, she stopped that explosion. I mean, they've been talking about bombs this whole time, this whole episode. The explosion literally just like destroyed that zombie
The
population.
zombies.
So the zombies are like they're kind of safe for a bit there, Joel and Ellie. So that's such a big sacrifice and such poetic. So I feel like that the show did it better,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, funny enough, yeah, I agree. Yeah, the show did. I'm rewatching the scene right now. Like, yeah, the show did it so much better than what was here. In this one, you just kind of like, okay, she stays behind, and you kind of just run away.
Yeah.
No big climax or anything.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Um, but I mean, I don't know if I like this episode more than this first one. I think both are pretty great. Um, this one is definitely scarier, especially because of the zombies. Are they called clickers? Is that what they're called?
They're
Yeah.
called clickers, yeah, the
Because
blind
I
zombies.
have I have like the caption on, and the audio caption keeps on saying like clicking noises. And I'm like, oh right, they're called clickers.
The clicking noises. That's
And I
how they
like
make the clicking.
I like the concept that they cannot see and they only can hear. That's very different than a lot of zombie stuff that I've seen. Um,
Yeah, it's
and
some
they look
quiet place kind
disgusting.
of stuff.
They look disgusting too. Ugh, the fungal thing. Yeah,
The fungal heads.
yeah.
His heads.
Oh, also, I mean, the opening scene I mentioned in the group chat. The opening scene. It takes place in Jakarta. Come on, that's a cool callback.
No, it took place in Bali.
In the game,
No, in the actual scene that Teguh was able to figure
No,
out, if you
no,
see
was
the
it Bali?
plates,
if you
if
look
you
at
see
the
the
license
plates for
plates,
the
they're
cars,
all DK.
is Bali.
Okay, well, in actual, I looked this up. In actual production, they shot in Canada. That whole scene was all of those. That whole sequence is in Canada.
What?
Yes,
Wait, the
that's
whole
one.
scene. Okay, no, to be fair, some of the like spanning shots look like they were like, stock images, that they got from like a tourist board or something. Like, look, this is Jakarta, but I guess the shooting, it makes sense, like especially the labs and all that. You really think Indonesia has labs that advanced back in 2003? They don't even have labs
When it
like
comes
that in 2023.
I mean, yeah, no, I believe it's in Canada. I gotta shout out the actress because it's the Indonesian actors that play that. So Christine Hakim, which is a famous Indonesian actress, I've heard her name. And Yayu Aw Unru. I'm guessing it's Yayu Awe Unru. Um, they're both Indonesian actors. Um, but yeah, they played the Ratna Pratiwi, the professor, doctor,
Professor and the
and the
girl, was
police
it the other guy?
general
Yeah, the
Agus
police.
Hidayat. Yeah, I think they did a great performance, and yeah, they were based on what I'm reading. It uh they shot in Canada, and they were in both of them are both very skeptical to take on this role because they shot this in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic,
Right.
and that they have to travel across the world to shoot in Alberta, Canada. and they were like, I don't know if I want to do that because it's the pandemic. I want to take care of my family. But yeah, I mean, they eventually got convinced because some of her, at least for Christine Hakim, the grandniece is a fan of the game and convinced her to take the role.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and
Oh
then they
wow.
also like
Okay.
Neil Druckmann is like, yeah, we'll do a very good job trying to portray Jakarta. So they did a really good job. I mean, it tricked the good thinking it was Bali, so I guess it works.
Those-
And yes, apparently she brought her own batik scarves and jewelry to match the other costume department as well for that stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they did that.
But that
They
explains why the
Indonesian
Kue
actors.
Lapis is like 10,000. That's some inflation. That's some bad inflation shit,
That
man.
is actually yeah, you know what? That's fair. Was Indonesia in a bad shape inflation wise 2003? I don't know.
10,000 can buy you so many things back in
I mean,
2003.
hey,
A Kue
hey,
Lapis for
if
10,000?
it's a whole kue, makes sense. That's kind of cheap for a
Okay,
whole
that's
kue.
fair enough. You know
Okay,
what?
for a
Depends how big.
whole
Depends
question,
how big the kue is.
The image they had in the background was showing a
was just a
slice, okay?
slice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, anyway, let's not get bogged down on how
This is
much
such
Kue
a this
Lapis
is
even
such
costs. I
this
don't
is
think
such
our
a deep cut
viewers
Indonesian
I don't even
reference.
know what
Oh my
Kue
God.
Lapis is in bloody English. I can't even tell
Layer,
people what to buy.
it's layer cake.
Yeah, I know that's the literal translation, but is that an actual food? Anyways.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's anyway. Yeah, I think they did a good job with that performance, and I'm glad they got Indonesian actors to do it. And I don't know, man. It feel nowadays whenever I see something like Indonesian being portrayed in Western media, I just got so excited because like this is so cool because I don't see a lot of these, and I like seeing a lot of these. So yeah, which is why I got so excited to fucking Ticket to Paradise, and they shot in Australia. Like, yeah, sure. But yeah, I just like that they have that representation and that they speak Indonesia the whole time. I'm glad they didn't do like English stuff and they do
In
Indonesia.
English dub, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
HBO is kind of like professional. Of course, if they can have actors speak Valerian, I'm pretty sure they can have actors speak Indonesian. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. So but yeah, again, I like the opening scene, and yeah, I do agree. It looks that the whole thing is disgusting. Um, the whole zombies, especially the whatever the thingy are.
Cordyceps,
Uh,
so
what are they called?
cordyceps, the
Cordyceps.
fungus, right? The one that comes out of the mouth
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. 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 That's fair. But yeah, good stuff. I think Bella Ramsey. We didn't see too much of her performance in the first one. I think she's great in this one. She plays Ellie. She shows a great vulnerability, yet also sort of like she's also very
I
independent,
think
yet
I
there's a
think it
big
accurately
vulnerability.
portrays a 14-year-old like, it's naughty and annoying, but at the same time they're kind of brave and, what is it?
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're annoying, but they're kind of brave at the same time, and and she knows when she messes up or something like that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I like the performance a lot in this one. And yeah, I also like
Is that what Bella Ramsey's just good at? Playing snotty kids like from Game of Thrones and not snotty, just like,
Bull.
what is it? Bold, yeah, very bold
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, she's great. I like her. And Pedro Pascal is great as well.
Actually, yeah. This was not. Oh yeah, no, I think it was not. It wasn't just theorized. I think they mentioned it in the Indonesian sequence. What is it? I think like a factory in Depok, which is a city near Jakarta, just outside of it actually.
uh
It's like,
They
like it
mentioned the
was.
source.
Yeah, it got. Yeah, they said that it got contaminated. Some people got infected. They locked some people up. Blah blah blah.
Depok.
Yeah, they mentioned that's where the victim, the first victim,
The
where
first
the
victim is like
doctor.
from a factory worker.
Yeah, was a factory worker like taken from Depok. So
Huh.
yeah, and it was mentioned that they were working in some kind of like what is it? A factory, a
And then
plant that like
and then and then
manufactures flour.
there's a yeast infection. No, not the yeast infection. A
Well,
fungal
yeah,
infection.
some kind of fungal infection in the factory. Yeah, they mentioned it there. So
Yeah. But it
very
is an
cool.
interesting observation because like yeah, they avoid the whole Pedro Pascal family, Joel
Yeah,
and his daughter avoid eating anything
it's,
grain. That first
Yeah, because
episode,
like
they did the cookie, then they did the birthday cake. So yeah,
I remember when it's like, oh yeah, no, like they definitely did not like mention this in the game, because this is what I actually kind of like, because like you know how most zombie films games, they never really focus so much on the
source.
infection itself, and they just kind of
Yeah,
like focus on the characters. So it's nice to
yeah.
get some bit of lore. And it's nice to see that, like Indonesia was the problem for this. We like to get blamed for everything. We like to get
Oh my
blamed
god.
for everything.
No, you know what?
And I
You're
like
right. Just like no, go ahead.
no, there's nothing else I can. Oh wait, no, and I liked when the was it the doctor is just like, there's no cure. The
Bomb
only
the
answer
whole
is like
thing.
bomb, just
I was like,
bomb.
Bomb.
holy shit, that is
Bomb.
crazy. That is crazy. But yeah,
You're just like I like how the lady just like straight up just yeah, bomb Jakarta.
bomb
Just bomb.
harus dibom ini kota. Kota ini harus
Yeah,
dibom.
yeah, like, yeah, harus di bomb. I'm like, wow. You know what? Yeah,
Wow.
she has a point. Wow, she has a point.
Well, Jakarta's sinking anyway. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very interesting with the origin because, like you said, a lot of great zombie movies. Usually, the zombies just like something happened, deal with it. We don't really explore it. Like we really explore it when it's a fungal infection, started off somewhere, it's spreading. There's no cure. That's what's happening. And then, well,
Yeah,
like
like
if you think of other famous zombie in media, like Train to Busan, they didn't mention what happened. Something just happened.
yeah,
Like Zombieland, I mean, it's a comedy, so they don't address it. Like other Dawn of
yeah,
the
they
Dead,
don't bother.
I'm pretty sure they don't do it. So yeah, a lot of zombie stuff doesn't go over those stuff. So I like that they
Yeah,
cover it
yeah,
up.
yeah. Because I think it's also mentioned. Like I think I remember seeing this like huge headline where like some kind of like doctor from the CDC was like discussing about these like game theory, like zombie infections, and I think he said like the cordyceps infection from this game is like the most realistic take
Which is
for a
scary.
zombie outbreak, which is very scary. So the fact that like a CDC like doctor says like, yeah, this is sounds very plausible, and you're just like, sounds what?
I don't like that.
Sounds what?
It's okay. All I know is
I'm
that
staying away from the woods.
if you guys get your flower from Depok, don't.
Just don't.
Don't. Don't.
I wonder how many people who's like, oh no, I work in a factory, a yeast factory in
A yeast
Depok.
In
Oh, shit.
Depok. So for my Depok viewers, yeah, maaf ya.
Well, this is all 2003, so maybe.
Yeah, no, it's
Maybe
2020s.
maybe we've surpassed it. Maybe we're safe. Maybe we're not. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, again, I think overall this episode is pretty great. I like it. Um, although I have a question.
I personally found it better than the first one, but yeah, what is it?
That's
What
fair.
was your question?
No, yeah, I think they definitely goes. I have a question directly targeted at Teguh.
Why?
Teguh
Why are you
hates
calling me out?
Teguh hates horror,
Yeah.
but you can stand this. I thought this shit was scary, dude. I thought it's so tense and pretty freaking scary. But you hate horror. And like there are a lot of horror movies that are less scary than this, in my opinion.
Arguably, yeah, the clicker scene was arguably scarier than most horror
It's
films.
so scary and
That's my
tense.
secret. I was looking at my other monitor during that scene.
So you
Oh, were
just
you
looking
actually
away the whole
scared at
time?
that?
Well, yeah.
Oh, just yeah, that's it.
I mean,
Okay, to be fair though,
it
like
was,
if the
but
go
it
like
wasn't that bad. I did see the part when like it turned around and just started screaming when they got caught. And that didn't actually scare me for some reason.
Okay.
be fair though, like
I don't know.
I
It's
think in the
weird. Okay, don't ask. I don't know.
You're good with zombie horror, but not good with any other horror. Or
I
is
don't know
it
what
just
type.
Maybe.
I think I
Dude,
don't know why. I think Teguh
honestly,
can
man,
actually
I don't
watch
know.
horror, but for some reason he's just like no. I don't even know why he says no.
he doesn't like the thrill of being scared? He would just rather not be scared, but he actually can't
Would rather
handle it.
not be scared, or would just rather see the scare straight up and just be like, okay, cool.
Or he
Like,
Just
oh,
be
look
done
at
with
I
it.
feel like
yeah,
I
just
feel
be
like
done with it.
Teguh is a closeted horror fan, Like he can
Oh, what?
handle it. He just doesn't want to.
Damn.
I think it's like just like here, it's like you know
In
how horrors have
secret.
like build-ups to a jump scare or something. I think the good just wants to see the jump scare immediately or not see it at all, because like that build-up is too intense, and he's like, My butt clenching
That
too
is
hard.
true.
I
I
don't want
don't
to.
like the build-ups.
Yeah, Teguh doesn't want to clench his butt that much. He just wants to immediately see the scare.
We're analyzing my horror tastes. Interesting.
Closeted. Naruto the man, why don't you lock Teguh in a closet and make him watch horror? No, actually, that sounds stupid. Sorry about
Oh, please
that.
don't. But people will be more scared if he's locked in the closet. Like,
Yeah, to be fair, it's a lot scarier for just some guy to be like, watch this
oh my
horror film than
god.
to actually just, watch the horror film. Does
Yeah, no,
Teguh
that's fair.
watch A Quiet Place? I don't think Teguh has never
I don't think you have. Did you?
watched it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I actually do recommend that to Teguh because one, it's not as scary. Two, it's a lot, it's a much cooler premise than most horror
Well,
films, in my
here's
opinion.
well, if you said that Teguh only liked the jump scare and not
Actually,
the jump
yeah, no,
scare,
that whole film
gonna
is just
hate-
blood
he's gonna
clenched.
hate
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah, it's all butt clenching, especially when it's taken the perspective of a deaf girl sometimes, and you literally don't hear anything. You
Teguh's,
just
Teguh's butt is gonna be so tight by the end of this film.
He's going to invert and just sick a douche, and he went to another dimension.
Damn, my butt is gonna skip you.
Oh my
I like how I throw it back all the way.
He's gonna skadoosh his butt. What?
It's the right word for the situation at whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Point is, like, Teguh can probably handle the horror. And to be fair, though, I think Teguh was fine with it because he was watching it with me and I was making comments on that
That
as
is
well.
true.
So if watching it alone, Teguh cannot handle it. That's fair.
Probably, yeah.
All right, we'll get back to this Teguh horror update next week as we watch episode 3. But yeah, good show so far. Deserve the second season. You have nothing else to add unless anyone else have to add anything, any particular scene or anything you want to add. The
the
conversation.
one time a game is extremely good as a live action and they're following, the story. Now I'm just hoping they don't follow the story when they reach season 2. it's very annoying, It's like
They probably will though.
yeah, they probably will, or at least just give Joel a more a different way out.
That's fair. It have to be earned. It have to be a way that it's like good.
Until then, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Oh yeah, well, I just
You
realized
alright?
like this.
Oh.
Last of Us also releases every Monday, so it's actually kind of soon.
Yeah, pretty much. It released Sunday for me, literally tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
so,
Sunday. Yeah, so like so
I
you
mean,
can kind of watch it
it's
almost
the HBO.
immediately.
It's the HBO Max method because they did that for Game of House of the Dragon too. So
Oh yeah, House of Dragon was also on Mondays. Yeah, Monday releases. Yeah, so we got used to Disney. They release on a Thursday. It's such a
Disney's
bad day.
the
I hate it.
Wednesday for
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, Wednesday for you. So it's like halfway through the day. So if you watch it the earliest, it's far from our discussion.
Yeah.
Or if
Netflix
you're
is
like
releasing
hyped,
all at once.
or if you're like after you finish the review, you want to just see the next episode immediately, but then you have to wait till Thursday. Disney. Big
No, yeah, you can
disappointment.
directly watch this tomorrow and see what.
Yeah,
happens.
exactly, right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Before we wrap, I guess, do you guys know where the episode is going next episode?
Not entirely, not gonna lie, because like I did say I watched PewDiePie's whole walkthrough. I mostly remembered the beginning and the end. The middle part was a bit grainy in my opinion for me.
Okay. And Teguh?
No idea.
Fair. Oh yeah, Teguh only knows a general plot point. Yeah.
Yeah, general plot.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm the one that knows the least. Teguh knows slightly more than me, and Ariq knows a bit more than everyone. So we'll see next week what happens. But yeah, I think that's all, right? We good? Wrap the show up.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right. So yeah, let's get to the plugging